Hi, I'm Mike of Nearly Enough Dice, and here we are on Minecraft. I have started a new ridiculous project because I don't have enough of those. I've just finished a great big huge one. Time to do another one. Right, I'm currently making a platform of slabs that is 18 by 18. I've done 18. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have to count this out or I will lose track entirely, so I do apologize. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16. I'm using my, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm using the place where I dug all my sand from. That went a bit weird. What do I want to do? I want that. I want 17 in that pile there. That's going to take me where I want to go. So I can talk and do the certain things at the same time, assuming various annoying things don't happen. So this is the area above my sand pit where I got all my sand from to do the temple with. And I've gone up quite a lot. And I've done another platform which is that's not quite at the tippy top. That's two down from the very top, because I needed to put, according to the design, what I'm getting off the internet, and I should look up the name of the person whose design I am using. But there's a few timer bits and pieces that need to go on top of that, and that the circuitry takes 2 blocks. Right, so I shouldn't have to count anymore. I can just put squares down. And what I'm doing is I'm going right back. This is assuming I've got this all right, and I've actually counted everything out, and that took a long time for me to be sure that I was in the right place, and I probably have still got it wrong. The idea is this is going to be a massive big mob spawner, and that is going to operate by oh, that annoys me so much. I don't know how that happens. I really don't, because that also annoys me. Because, right, how did that slab get one below this one when there's nothing to hang it off and there's nowhere my cursor could have been there and stuff? But never mind. Anyway, mob spawner, flushable, right? So what is going to happen is the 4 corners of that slab up there are going to be replaced by droppers with water in them, and the water will flow down in a cunning arrangement, held up by signs and all that kind of good stuff, and will flood each of the spawning layers. Oh bloody hell, how does that happen? That makes no sense to me. Yes, that's really aggravating. So this is made entirely of slabs. How does that happen? The idea being, I suspect, that you can get more slabs out of material. So this is, you use less material to make this thing. So the water will come down and there'll be signs and stuff, and the water will all flow in there. So the monsters will cheerfully spawn, and then will get swept down, and they will then fall onto a floor which I have yet to construct, which is going to be 29 down, which will be enough to kill them, including any witches, because witches have slightly more health, and also any skeletons or whatever that have armor, that should get them as well. So, you know, they'll just all die. And the bits and pieces can be collected. Now, I could, in theory, I mean, I suspect I'm not going to do this. Because if I just make a floor for them to impact, then someone will have to go there and sweep up all the bits and pieces. But you can make things to automatically gather the items, like with hopper channels and all that kind of stuff. Interestingly, according to the tutorial that I'm basing this off, you get so many items out of this, although there's a limit apparently to any mob farm that uses a flushing system is limited in how much you can collect, apparently. Because you spawn your beasties and then you flush them, and so you're not continuously spawning and killing them. They're spawn, flush, spawn, flush, spawn, flush. Anyway, so according to the tutorial, you get so many items that a single hopper chain cannot in fact contain them all. So you need at least 3 parallel hopper chains. Fuck. It's so annoying. You need 3 parallel hopper chains to take all the items, at least 3. So I don't know if I'm going to bother coming up with anything clever. I mean, I probably could if I really wanted to, but and then the idea is you would grab all the items and then you would feed them to some kind of item sorter, and you'd get everything nicely distributed. But this means that anything that comes out of standard mob drops, like rotten flesh, there's that happening again. Rotten flesh, gunpowder from creepers, that should be in relatively high demand. Bones, arrows, and bows from skellies. Also some random other items, because some you get the skeletons that drop that have armor and drop armor, and some same with zombies. Witches will be dropping glowstone, redstone dust. Well, glowstone dust, redstone dust, potion bottles and the like. To my mind, the thing that I'm most wanting to get hold of from all this is actually spider eyes, because I use spider eyes in potions, specifically fermented spider eyes, but you need to get the spider eyes to ferment them. So that's the one thing I'm not currently getting very much of. I've got a skelly spawner, so I'm actually, I don't need the skelly bits because I've got a skelly spawner. Don't have a zombie spawner, but then zombies only give rotten flesh, but the zombie pigman spawner produces loads of rotting flesh and experience points. This particular farm does not give you experience points. It's not designed to do that. The things just go splat, and you take their stuff. But string and spider eye, there is a spider spawner, but the spiders don't automatically get killed. There's no killing mechanism. They just get swept up into a particular place, and you then hit them with a weapon. So that's a thing. But for experience points, we've got that. We've got a skelly spawner already. So it's really, well, there are 2 reasons to do this. One is just because. I like the mechanism, I like the look of it, I think it would be a fun thing to have on server, stuff like that. And the actual practical reason is the spider related stuff, which not going to get that much. And gunpowder as well. Gunpowder useful for potions and TNT for destructive purposes, obviously. Those are the 2 things we don't currently have any method of getting. And given you can trade in rotten flesh for emeralds, the more rotten flesh you can get, the better, really. Right, so that's that done. This is the very bottom floor. So I'm going to chuck a torch here. And 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Nope, nope. So I'm placing torches more or less anyway, such that nothing should spawn in here. Obviously, I will want to take those away when I set this up, because otherwise the things won't spawn, which is a bit of a problem for a monster spawner. It's not really what you want. But for right now, when I'm working on it, I don't really want things spawning at me. Like a lot of these designs, although it's stated to be a survival friendly design. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. That should be enough torches. It's stated to be a survival friendly design, but most of them are really actually quite hard to do. So what I've done, right, it's a modular system. So this is going to be a spawning floor, right? And there's going to be a 4x4 hole in the middle, so spiders can get swept out. There's going to be a ring around, and there's a specific design. It's going basically to keep things in, which actually annoyingly means that I've put this in the wrong place. So there's actually going to be surround. I need to move this to be 2 out that way. So not there and not there, but there, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. And I can build as many floors as I like up from here. So this will be a particular design because this is the bottom floor. And then I can make more floors above here. But the idea is that if I make the bottom floor first, then I'm not going to risk falling to my doom, because that's not quite at the very tippy top of build. Right, it's 2 down from the highest you can put. So I've got those 2 extra things to put the mechanisms that I'm going to be making. But now this is while I'm working up, as I work my way up, this is the lowest I can fall. Well, that's not quite true. I've got to put a ring around here. And if I'm not careful, that could make me fall to my doom. And once I've done that, cut that and another. I think the next layer up is going to be slightly wider. So there's 1 extra ring, and then the next layer up is slightly bigger again. But once I've done those 2, this is as far as I'm ever going to fall to my doom. So I'm not going to have to worry about falling all the way down like that, which is what I would currently do. Because when I built the zombie pigman spawner, I did it what I now consider to be the silly way, where I built the very, very top, and then was building down, down, down. So each time I do a layer, I start off and with a situation where the slightest wrong move and I fall to my death. Which is silly. It's a silly way of doing it. So once I've constructed a ring around this, do I have enough? This is 18 on a side, and I don't know what 18 times 4 is. Well, it's actually 19 times 4. No. Yes, 19 times 4. So I'm going to have to move all this away. This will be in the wrong place. See, essentially I need to do a ring like that. Right, let's put that one in. So I now need to do a ring like this, and I may not have enough blocks. This is all sand that was made from. This is all made from sand that I got from the Ocean Temple project. So one thing we're not lacking on this server is sand. And I only used a fairly piddling amount of the ridiculous amount of sand that we have. So oh, for heaven's sake. Oh no. That reminds me, I need to go and nip down to the bottom before those despawn, the other slabs that I failed to place in the right place. Looks like we'll be able to get around. So this is the lowest spawning floor. I think they need to put a bunch of signs down to direct the water flow where it's meant to go. But this is a very simple setup. You don't need anything complicated. It's all in how it's shaped, and not anything else. All right, there we go. And then I just build up from here, basically. So hopefully I'm going to have a nice spawning floor, and then make lots of monsters and then murder them for their stuff. And what I need to do is I need to get rid of this whole ladder situation. It is in the wrong place. So I need to go 2 out that way. I had a lot of fun building. This is obviously just an enormous stack of dirt that is going to be scaffolding, and I may probably just get rid of it. It's going to depend on whether how much I think I'm going to need to do maintenance later on. Whether or not I feel the need to keep a big, huge scaffolding thing. But I was kind of amused. I made what I thought was a ridiculously large number of ladders in order to get up here. And then I had to go and make another set of what I thought was a ridiculously large number of ladders. And then a third set of not quite as ridiculously large number of ladders. Probably should have counted. I actually made my first scaffold, built all the way up, right? A dirt tower all the way up to max height before I thought, oh, should have made some ladders. So I was all the way up there and I didn't have any ladders. I very thoughtfully fell to my death. I mean, I could have done something, ridiculously stupid, like, oh, I don't know, use a bucket of water to ladder myself down, but I forgot to, well, I was going to do that, and then I fell off. So I was like, well, now, seeing as I'm down here, might as well. That's now a placeholder. I'm going to need to build that all back up again. The fact that it's here means I know where it is. But I am going to have to go and make more sand slabs. So that is probably the next thing I need to do. What's in there? Just stuff. Where is that coming from? I think there's a cavern underneath here where monsters occasionally spawn, which can be annoying because I can suddenly say, oh, I want to sleep because it's night, and it says, well, the monster's nearby and I can't see them. So I suspect there's somewhere in here there's a hole where monsters can live. That's kind of annoying. But from about as you can see, I've got 2 stacks of ladders. Nearly 3 stacks of ladders, and I had that many left over from what I'd made. That's how many ladders I had to make. Ridiculous. So yeah, that is my current new project. It's going to take forever, I should think. The advantage of the way this should work is that even if I only make the 1 spawning floor, I can just leave it and it's nice and modular, and then I can make more if I want to. but I don't have to. I can build up, and there will be, I think there's 10 in total spawning floors. Might only be 9. And then we will have lots and lots of drops. And so we probably are going to have some kind of ladder or some kind of system to get up, because I probably am only going to have them drop the 29 you need for them to drop, instead of dropping all the way down to here, which would be kind of funny, but a bit silly. So there you go. That is my current project. I'm going to be building a lot of floors and things, and then hopefully get a working prototype up and running and demonstrate how it works. And then it's just going to be, whenever I feel like it, I can just add a new floor. So there you go. Thanks very much for watching. Do hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. Come visit me at updice.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter, and there are links to all of that in the video description. And until we meet again, dig for victory.